Can we talk? I'm at the bank trying to withdraw money for the kids' daycare and other expenses, but there's no money in the account. I couldn't even withdraw $100. Do you know anything about this?
Wasn't that payment due later?
Yeah, but I specifically marked it on our shared calendar a few days ago because I knew I would have time today. I wanted to pay it while I had time during lunch since I might forget if I put it off. Why isn't there any money in the account?
Oh yeah, I withdrew it because I needed it.
You withdrew money from our family account without discussing it with me?
I didn't think it was a big deal. I needed it urgently.
Tom, this is serious. What was so urgent that you had to empty our account without telling me?
Just some stuff I needed.
What exactly did you need? We agreed to discuss any major withdrawals.
Various things, but mainly for the gaming console that released last week.
Gaming? Wait, you bought a new gaming console? I haven't seen one at home.
I kept it somewhere else because you get mad if I play games at home. I needed the money to buy the new console and some games I want to play.
Where exactly are you keeping it, and how much did this cost?
At a friend's place. It wasn't that much.
Tom, give me the exact amount. How much did you spend?
About $800 with the games and everything. What about it?
$800 from our family account? How many times have I told you that this account is for living expenses and the children's education? When you want to buy personal items, use your own savings or money.
What else could I do? It was expensive, and I don't have any money in my account.
What happened to your last paycheck? Wasn't payday last week?
It all went to credit card payments.
All of it? What have you been buying that maxed out all your credit cards?
Just stuff I needed. Some golf equipment, new clothes for work.
Golf equipment? Since when do you play golf?
I need to start. It's important for work connections.
You've been shopping that much? I asked you not to waste money, didn't I? We reviewed our income and expenses together and calculated monthly spending limits. Why would you ignore the budgets we set together?
There are things I absolutely need to buy. What can I do?
Like what? What is so essential that you had to take money meant for our children's daycare?
You wouldn't understand. Men need certain things to maintain their status at work.
It's all because of your extravagant spending. Since what's spent is spent, you'll definitely put the money back in from next month's paycheck, right?
Yeah, I'll put it back.
I need you to promise me this can't happen again.
Okay, I'll put it back. Stop nagging.
Don't touch this account anymore. We can't sustain our lifestyle if this continues. We need to buy things for the kids and pay for daycare. This is already an expensive time for us.
It's fine if we use credit cards. We can just leave the payments to our future selves.
That kind of thinking is why you're always spending so much and ending up with no money.
I'm just having faith in our future selves. We'll earn more later.
We'll go bankrupt at this rate. We might need money for emergencies. What if one of the kids gets sick?
Never mind that. I have something to ask.
What now?
Where'd you hide the kids' bank books?
What? Why are you asking about that?
I was cleaning the house and couldn't find them. You hid them, didn't you?
Since when do you clean? You've never even changed a diaper.
That's not the point. Where are they?
Wait a minute, you never clean the house or do any housework. What's gotten into you? You're not planning to touch the kids' accounts, are you?
I suddenly have to go golfing with the CEO and his wife tomorrow, and then we're going drinking afterward. I need some money. Golfing is expensive.
Is this why you were looking for the bank books? Absolutely not!
Come on, it's for work. This is important networking.
Are you even listening to yourself? You can't steal from our children for golf.
They've got money from birth gifts, birthday presents, New Year's money, and school entrance celebrations. Not like they're using it.
That's because they're children. That money is for their future.
They'll get more celebrations in the future. And they get New Year's money every year. Using a bit won't hurt.
You are unbelievable. Do you know how hard our parents worked to save that money for them?
That's exactly my point. My parents contributed a lot to those accounts.
Yes, for their grandchildren, not for you to spend on golf.
But kids don't understand the value of money, and they have nothing to use for it right now.
They might need it in the future. College isn't free, you know.
That's years away. Could always save more later.
Like how you're saving now by maxing out credit cards?
Don't start with that again. And at least give me the portion for my parents.
What? Are you serious?
The money from my parents is practically mine. They've given quite a bit, haven't they? Come on, hand it over.
Your parents specifically said it was for their grandchildren's education.
They won't know if we use a little bit.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. This is theft, Tom.
It's not theft if it's family money.
I keep telling you, all that money was given to the children. No matter what you say, I won't let you touch the children's money. If I let you once, you'll probably use up all the money in their accounts.
You don't trust me at all, do you?
How can I when you've already emptied our joint account for a gaming console?
That was different. This is for work.
In fact, if you can't handle money responsibly, you're not giving me any choice. I'll have to put you on a daily allowance system.
What? Why should you control my wallet? I'm not a child.
Then stop acting like one. You're trying to steal from your own children.
I'm not stealing. I'm borrowing.
When exactly would you pay it back? With what money?
When I get my promotion. The CEO really likes me.
Because you can't handle money responsibly. As a result, you're trying to touch money that shouldn't be touched.
You're impossible. No wonder the guys at work say their wives are more understanding.
Oh, and which wives would those be?
Never mind. This is ridiculous. Fine, I'll use my secret savings.
Secret savings? What secret savings?
None of your business.
Good evening. I'm Amanda, the CEO's wife from Tom's company. We met at last year's company party and had such a lovely chat. I'm sorry I haven't been in touch. I've been so busy. Oh, hello, Amanda. Yes, I remember you. That was quite a party. Your blue dress was stunning that night. Tom couldn't stop talking about how proud he was to have such a beautiful wife. That's kind of you to say. Thank you for always taking care of my husband. I heard he's going golfing with you and your husband today, followed by drinks. Yes, we had such a wonderful time. Tom is quite the natural at golf. Really? Well, that's surprising since he just started. Oh, has he not played before? He seemed so comfortable on the course. I see. And now you're all having drinks? I'm sorry we're keeping your husband so late when you have young children. Actually, he's drinking at our house right now. At your house? Oh, he said you'd be at a restaurant. I'm so sorry he's imposing on you this late. I can come pick him up right away if you'll share your address. Oh, no. Oh, please don't worry. Our home is quite spacious. And Tom seems so comfortable here already. Already? Has he been there before? Oh, I just meant he's very adaptable. We have plenty of rooms, and since I don't drink, my husband is happy to have someone to drink with. Is he not causing any trouble? He can be quite loose-tongued when drinking. Not at all. He's been telling the most fascinating stories about your family life. What kind of stories? Just little things. About how strict you are with money, how you never let him enjoy himself. I see. Actually, I wanted to ask, would it be all right if we borrowed your husband for the night? Pardon? Borrowed? Could we let him stay over? Both my husband and Tom are quite drunk, and I think it would be better if they rested here. That's why I reached out to you. This seems rather unusual for a work gathering. Oh, this is quite normal in our circles. My husband often has colleagues stay over. And you're comfortable with that arrangement? Of course! I take pride in being a generous hostess. Besides, Tom has stayed here before. Before? When was this? Oh, I meant it would be like he's stayed here before. He fits in so well with us. I see. It seems we're causing you even more trouble.
It would be difficult for both Tom and you if he went home in this state, and I'm sure your children are sleeping. It would be a shame if they woke up. We don't mind at all, so we'll let him stay and send him home tomorrow.
What time should I expect him?
Oh, whenever he wakes up naturally. No need to rush on our account.
Thank you for your consideration. I'll take you up on your kind offer. Thank you so much. I know it's an imposition, but please take care of him.
While I have you, may I meddle in one more thing?
What is it?
Tom was just complaining about something while drinking.
Complaining? About what exactly?
About how you control him, the money situation specifically.
Did he mention that he tried to take money from our children's accounts today?
I hear you keep a tight hold on his purse strings. I know it's not my place to interfere with other households' finances, but as a fellow wife, I'm concerned.
Concerned about what exactly?
My husband is a CEO, you know. As women, as wives supporting our husbands, I believe we should let men maintain their dignity.
And dignity requires unlimited access to money?
Men need to feel powerful, Sarah. They need freedom to make their own choices.
Even when those choices hurt their family?
A wife shouldn't control her husband's wallet. If you tighten the purse strings too much, men will look elsewhere.
Elsewhere?
I can't be explicit, but you know how men are. They're always looking for freedom. You shouldn't make them feel confined.
And you're speaking from experience?
Let's just say I understand men's needs better than most wives.
Thank you for the advice. My husband has a tendency to overspend and can't handle money responsibly. Since we have children, we're trying to discuss and decide on how to use money for our family's future.
Men are always like children seeking freedom. It's up to us women to nurture them with a generous heart.
Nurture?
That's how I nurtured my husband into someone who doesn't worry about money, and thanks to that, I don't want for anything either.
I imagine being a CEO's wife makes that easier.
Oh, it's not about the money, it's about understanding what men need.
And what do they need in your experience?
Freedom, adventure, excitement, things that conventional wives often fail to provide.
I see. Well, every marriage is different.
How old are your children?
5 and 2.
Such demanding ages. It must be hard managing them alone while Tom works so hard.
Yes, especially since I work full-time too.
Oh, you work? I thought you were a stay-at-home mother.
No, I've always worked, even through both pregnancies.
Our company has never had a male employee take paternity leave before, so I'm sorry we couldn't let Tom take any time off either.
Excuse me?
When your baby was born, such a shame he couldn't help more.
That's strange. Tom told me he took 2 weeks of paternity leave, although he didn't spend much time helping around the house.
Oh, I must be thinking of someone else.
No, I distinctly remember because he said he told his company he wanted time off and was overjoyed when he was given 2 weeks, only to spend most of that time out with his friends.
Did he? Oh, but his salary will definitely increase in the future as my husband's right-hand man, so as a wife, you should try not to make Tom feel too restricted. Well, I'm sorry for messaging so late. Good night.
Wait, what do you mean by right-hand man?
Oh, just that my husband has special plans for Tom's future. Nothing concrete yet.
I see. Good night, then. Tom, we need to talk about your paternity leave.
What about it?
I had an interesting chat with Amanda. She said your company never gives paternity leave, even though you took 2 weeks off from work when I was having both children.
She must be confused.
Or am I confused about where you really were those 2 weeks?
Drop it, Sarah.
Were you even in the country? You said you were out with friends, but how much of that is really true?
I said drop it.
You took the kids' bank books, even though I hid them Don't tell me you've withdrawn money. That money is for the children's future. You absolutely cannot use it.
Found them in your sock drawer. Not very creative.
How much did you take?
I need it for golfing with the CEO and his wife again. It's just a few $100s. Don't worry about it.
A few hundred? Put it back right now.
It's already spent. I needed new clubs.
Even if it's just a few hundred, even if it's just once, if you touch that money, you'll end up using it all. Absolutely not.
Stop nagging. Didn't Amanda teach you about being a proper wife?
What does Amanda have to do with this?
She told me about your line chat, about how controlling you are.
You and Amanda seem to talk a lot about me.
She understands what a wife should be.
But the CEO's family and our family have completely different incomes, situations, and family structures. We have our own way of doing things.
Even though Amanda was kind enough to give you advice, she really understands men's needs.
And what needs would those be?
Freedom, support, understanding, everything you don't give me.
Never mind that. Bring the bank books back right now. I won't forgive you if you withdraw even $1.
Too late, we're already done.
What? You really withdrew money from the children's accounts without permission?
I told you, I had the right to use the portion for my parents. I'm sick of you being so controlling. I wish I had a generous wife like Amanda.
A generous wife like Amanda? Is that what this is about?
Someone who supports my career growth instead of questioning every expense.
Career growth? Is that what you call drinking at our house?
What are you implying?
Those golf games, those late nights. How often do you really see the CEO at those meetings?
It's none of your business.
It is when you're stealing from our children to fund it.
I've had enough. We're absolutely incompatible when it comes to money management.
Only money management?
What? Want to get divorced? I don't mind. You'll be the one who regrets it.
Really? I'll regret losing a husband who steals from his children?
I provide for this family.
By maxing out credit cards and emptying savings accounts? Fine, I can't take this anymore. Let's get divorced.
Fine. Take all the kids with you. I won't pay child support either.
Put that in writing, why don't you?
Fine. That's what I'll do. I'm done with all of you.
Fine, that's what I'll do.
Get out right now from this house.
Gladly. I'll go to my parents' house with the kids. I'll contact you later about money matters like child support and division of assets. Until then, it's in your best interest not to touch the kids' accounts.
Whatever. Now I can use my salary however I want, and no one will complain about how I spend my money. What a relief. Amanda understands me better anyway.
Oh, I'm sure she does. Say hi to her for me.
Hey, Sarah! Why am I being asked for compensation? What's the certified letter of all these demands?
Did you read it carefully? Every single page?
These numbers are insane! Property division? Child support? Compensation?
It's a certified letter I prepared after consulting with my lawyer. I think the numbers for property division, child custody, child support, and compensation are all properly calculated with supporting evidence.
What? This is ridiculous! Why should I pay any compensation? What evidence?
Because I found out about your affair. Compensation for that is reasonable, isn't it?
Huh? Affair? What affair?
Should I be more specific? Dates, times, locations?
You're making things up!
When calculating the property division, I investigated the ATM locations where you withdrew money and your credit card statements. The ATM locations and credit card statements showed evidence of your affair. I didn't even need to hire an expensive private investigator. There was plenty of evidence.
You had no right to look into my private spending.
Private spending with our joint account and our children's money?
So you were snooping around behind my back.
Funny how you're more upset about the snooping than being caught.
You're just making assumptions.
Those hotel charges were assumptions. The jewelry store purchases I never saw. The restaurants where you'd supposedly taken clients.
That doesn't prove anything.
You're the one who was sneaking around, having an affair with the CEO's wife of all people.
How did you know it was Amanda?
Thank you for confirming that.
That's not...
When I texted her recently, she mentioned you hadn't taken paternity leave.
Huh?
That's strange, isn't it? 2 years ago, when our younger child was born, you said you took paternity leave from work, but instead of helping with childcare, you went on vacation.
Well, that...
Seems like you didn't coordinate your story with your mistress. But during the period you took paternity leave, the CEO was away on a long overseas business trip, wasn't he? You were living it up at the CEO's house, enjoying a summer vacation under the guise of paternity leave, using the CEO's money.
Have you told the CEO?
I filed for compensation from his wife, too, so it's only a matter of time.
You wouldn't dare.
The papers are already filed. Would you like me to forward you a copy?
No! This is bad! If this gets out, I'll be fired!
Should have thought about that before stealing from our children to fund your affair.
I can explain everything!
To me or to the CEO? The certified letter has already been delivered, so try to handle this responsibly. I'm waiting for your response to the letter.
Wait! Sarah! We can work this out!
Through our lawyers.
I've been told to move out. Why do I have to leave?
Have you forgotten? Who do you think made it possible to live in that house?
What do you mean?
You seem to have completely forgotten. That house is employee housing from my company. The divorce was finalized through the lawyers last week, and since we're no longer family, you have no right to live there.
Employee housing? Huh? Your company?
Did you never once wonder why our rent was so low for such a nice place?
What are you talking about?
The reason we could live in such a spacious 3-bedroom apartment near the station for just $900 is because it's company housing.
$900? Is this apartment really that cheap?
For this area, market rate would be at least $2,500.
But I thought...
You didn't even pay the rent yourself, so you had no idea. You just kept spending recklessly with no savings, and your monthly salary mostly went to credit card payments for things you bought expecting your future self to pay for. You only contributed $200 a month to the household.
But I'm supposed to become the CEO's right-hand man and get a raise in the future.
Still believing that fantasy after everything?
Amanda promised.
After having an affair with the CEO's wife, do you think you'll earn more than me? I make more than twice what you do.
Wait a minute. You earn more than twice what I do?
Why do you think we could afford this lifestyle?
How much exactly do you make?
How do you think we lived so comfortably when you barely contributed any money to the household?
Well, I just thought, with savings and using all your salary, we could manage somehow.
While you spent money on games and golf?
Make it sound so bad.
So you thought it was fine to spend money on games and things you want while my entire salary went to living expenses?
I work hard every day.
And I don't? Who gets up at 5 a.m. to prepare everything for the kids?
That's different. I work in an office.
We both work every day. I did all the housework and childcare by myself, but you still think you worked harder?
Men and women have different roles.
Yes, apparently your role was to empty our accounts while having an affair. I understand now just how self-centered you are. We can live just fine on my salary like before, so we don't need you.
You can't just throw me out.
Actually, I can. The housing office already approved it.
Give me some time to find a place.
Since the divorce is final and we're strangers now, let's just clear up the financial matters through the lawyers.
Wait. I'm about to lose my home and my job in this situation. Because you explained everything to my parents first, they're saying they'll cut ties with me.
Oh, you've spoken with them? What did they say about the money you took from their grandchildren?
They're overreacting, just like you.
Don't you have the generous CEO's wife? Why don't ask her for help?
About that. Amanda just texted me saying she's been kicked out of her house penniless. She's saying she's coming to stay here.
Here? In my company housing?
She has nowhere else to go.
Why don't you help her move and look for a place to live together?
That's irresponsible.
Now you're talking about responsibility?
This isn't funny.
You got married, had children, had an affair, spent the money meant for the children, and drove your family to ruin. Aren't you the irresponsible one?
Just talk to your company. At least help me stay here a little longer. Please, Sarah. You know I don't have enough money to move right away.
Since we're divorced, there's nothing I can do. Talking about money with you is pointless, so I'm leaving everything to the lawyer.
What about the kids? Don't they need their father?
Child support is the top priority, so at least try to fulfill your responsibility as a father.
How am I supposed to pay child support when I have no job and nowhere to live?
It's a question you should have asked yourself before starting an affair with your boss's wife.
Wait! Sarah! I don't have any money!
Goodbye, Tom.
Sarah, please! Can I at least see the kids?
When you start making child support payments, we can discuss visitation.
I'm doing day labor now. It's barely enough to eat.
Welcome to the consequences of your actions.
Amanda left me.
Oh?
She couldn't handle living in a cheap apartment. Said she needs her lifestyle.
Ironic, isn't it? Having a partner who can't handle money responsibly.
I get it now. I really get it.
Too little, too late. Through the lawyer, we settled on my ex-husband repaying the money he had misappropriated, with minimal property division, plus child support and compensation, along with repayment of the money he had taken without permission. He lost his job and hasn't been successful in finding new employment, so he's barely getting by with day labor jobs. Apparently, he and the CEO's wife briefly moved into a cheap apartment together, but he ended up leaving her because she couldn't break her expensive spending habits from her life as a CEO's wife. I think he might finally understand a bit of what it feels like to have a partner who wastes money, and I hope that he finally realizes that he got what he deserved, and that he has no one to blame but himself for losing the happiness we once shared.